What is the difference between Eastern and Western spiritual traditions? Have you ever wondered how different cultures approach spirituality? The differences between Eastern and Western spiritual traditions are fascinating and reveal much about human beliefs. Let's break it down. First, the concept of the divine varies greatly. In Western traditions, such as Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, there's often a personal, transcendent God. This God is seen as separate from creation and engages in a relationship with humans. In contrast, Eastern traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism focus on an impersonal ultimate reality. For example, in Hinduism, this is known as Brahman, while in Taoism, it is referred to as the Tao. Here, the emphasis is on discovering or realizing this truth within oneself. Next, let's look at spiritual transformation and practice. In Western spirituality, transformation is often viewed as a renewal of the mind and heart through divine grace. This involves faith and a relationship with God, with meditation and prayer aimed at connecting with a personal deity. On the other hand, Eastern spirituality presents transformation as a journey of self-discovery. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and yoga are common, focusing on realizing the true nature of reality and consciousness. When it comes to rituals and worship, Western religions typically emphasize communal worship within organized institutions. Churches, synagogues, and mosques play a significant role, with rituals reinforcing community identity. In contrast, Eastern traditions often highlight individual spiritual practices. Activities like meditation, chanting, or personal devotion reflected a more inward approach to the sacred. Sacred texts also differ significantly. Western sacred texts, such as the Bible and the Quran, are seen as divinely inspired and interpreted within specific theological frameworks. In Eastern traditions, texts like the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita serve more as philosophical dialogues or practical guides for spiritual practice. They encourage personal insight and moral reflection rather than strict adherence to doctrine. The view of the human body is another area of distinction. Western spirituality, influenced by Platonic dualism, often sees the body as lesser or problematic in mystical practice. Early Christian mystics sometimes viewed the body as an obstacle to spiritual purity. In contrast, Eastern traditions regard the body as integral to spiritual practice. Techniques like yoga and meditation engage both body and mind, cultivating awareness and spiritual awakening. Lastly, artistic and cultural expressions vary. Western religious art emphasizes realism and humanistic expression, often portraying sacred figures with emotional depth. Eastern religious art, such as Buddhist murals, integrates spiritual symbolism with cultural aesthetics, focusing on conveying transcendence through stylized forms. In practical terms, these differences shape how individuals experience spirituality. Western traditions often encourage a personal relationship with a divine being through communal worship, while Eastern traditions promote personal exploration of consciousness through meditation and self-discipline. Both paths offer rich opportunities for spiritual growth, emphasizing different aspects of the sacred and human experience.